Hey Glow Girl, welcome to Front Porch Friday. We are in our final week of this series called If I'd Known Then. 5 things I learned the hard way so you won't have to. And this last lesson is the most important of all the lessons that we've looked at thus far. It's the most important lesson God has ever taught me as an adult. And I want to share it with you so that you don't have to learn it like I did, the hard way. The sooner you learn it, the better. But before I do that, I want to ask you a question. Listen, how's life treating you? How's life turning out for you? Is life turning out just like you dreamed, just as happily ever after life? Or maybe you're a little disillusioned. Maybe you're a lot disillusioned with your life. Well, today we're going to talk about how to avoid a less than best life. It's going to be a lesson on priorities today. You know, when I grew up in a strong Christian home. My mom and dad were both Christians. I became a Christian when I was just a child and had 4 brothers, and our home was happy. My parents loved the Lord, and they loved us, and they made marriage look, just easy. They made raising kids look like a cakewalk to me, and of course now I know that was not true. It was work, but they were good at it. And so I wanted the same kind of life, the same kind of family, the same kind of home, the same kind of marriage that they had. And so when I became a young adult, I married Bill, and we were so in love, and we had so much in common, and I thought, here we are, I can check it off my list. I've got just what I've always wanted. Now I have the life I've always wanted. It worked for about a year. Isn't that how it goes? And then about the second year of the marriage, things just began to unravel in our relationship. Bill was doing his thing, going to school, trying to finish his degree. He was working 2 or 3 jobs beside that. I was working full time, and our lives just began to just drift apart. The other thing that really bothered me was that Bill had confessed to me on more than one occasion that he had serious doubts about his salvation. I have to tell you, at first I had a lot of sympathy for that. At first I was very merciful. But finally it just began to dawn on me, don't you think you might should have told me that before we got married? Because girls, I didn't sign up to marry a guy who wasn't sure and certain about his relationship with Christ. I wanted a Christian home, a Christian marriage, and a Christian spiritual leader. Finally, it just began to well up within me and just bother me so much. I was so unhappy in this marriage that one day I confronted Bill. It was a showdown. And I want to tell you something, I didn't handle it well. I was very immature. And I just blurted out to him how unhappy I was and how I felt that we were just coming apart. And a word flew across my lips that I never even anticipated or planned to say. And it was that word, divorce. It scared Bill so bad that he just turned around and walked out. He didn't know what to say. And it scared me too. It scared me so much that when he left the room, I just crumpled in the middle of my bed into just a heap of tears. And in that heap of tears, I did something. The best thing I could have done. I cried out to God and I said, Lord, help me. This is a mess. I can't fix it. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. This is all I ever wanted, was this marriage, was this man. Now look what's happened in such a short time. And that day, in that crumpled, teary-eyed mess that I was in, God began to show me that what I had done was I had given my marriage, I had given my husband, I had given this dream I had, this pursuit I had of a home and a family. And these are not bad things, these are good things, but I had given those things priority in my life. And what he showed me that day was, Laurie, you haven't sought me first. You haven't loved me most. Now start seeking me first and loving me most. And if you'll do that, if you'll make our relationship your priority, you can trust me to take care of the other things. And that's exactly what God did. He taught me back then how to spend time with him and how to have a quiet time and how to pray. And I'd been doing that, but it was a deeper level. I was at a new place, and God taught me how to read the Word and to hear him speak to my life and to just begin to take his Word and believe it and stand in it. And he began to the marriage wasn't getting a whole lot better, I'll just admit it. But you know what? I was getting a whole lot better. I had hope. I had joy again. I had something that I hadn't had in a long time. And finally, when God healed me and got me out of the way, you know what he did? He got to Bill. He got to Bill. And that's what God often does, doesn't he? He has to get us out of the way before he can get sometimes to those people who mean so much to us. And my husband came to Christ. He became a Christian. It was a wonderful thing. Listen, I asked you a while ago, how's life treating you? This is a lesson on how to avoid a less than best life. You don't have to settle for a less than best life. And here's how you do it. Listen, you stop setting your heart on seeking secondary stuff, even if it's good stuff like a marriage, a relationship, a family, a job, a career, a dream, a passion. Listen, you stop setting your heart on those things, and you start giving God priority. You start giving your relationship with Jesus first place. Jesus said not only seek first his kingdom, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, but he also said this, that the most important commandment is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Listen, God doesn't want second place or third place in your life. He wants first place. He wants to be it. He wants you to give him priority. And when you do that, listen, it is amazing what he will do. He will move heaven and earth to give you the life you've always wanted. Now, am I telling you that everything's just going to be perfect and hunky-dory and no more problems? No, I'm not telling you that. But I'm telling you, you can experience a life of joy and abundance and peace. The life that Christ died to give you can be yours if you will give him priority, girl. Well, I have enjoyed so much your comments on the blog the past few weeks, and so I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and I can't wait to hear your responses on the blog and Facebook. What has God taught you about priorities? What's he taught you about priorities? And what difference has giving God priority in your life made, okay? How has it made a difference in your life? You encourage me by your comments, and you encourage others who read those, so I hope that you'll leave some comments on Facebook and on the blog. Well, we're here at the very last week of this series, If I'd Known Then, but I've got plans for the future. And I'll tell you all about them next week right here on Front Porch Friday, okay? And I may just have somebody extra special sitting right next to me to do it, okay? So until we meet again, girls, listen. Keep loving him most. Keep seeking him first. Keep giving him priority. Don't settle for a less than best life. Listen, give God priority. I love you, girl, and I'll see you right back here on Front Porch Friday next Friday. Bye, girl.